Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Diana here, and today we are talking about all things skincare and the fact that I've been failing at skincare for majority of my life. So let's go. Alright guys, so we're gonna go back in time. We're talking about when I was small. So growing up, it was the soap for your body, the soap for your face. But I mean, as a child, you don't really have acne, you don't really have skin problems, and my skin was pretty smooth, right? And obviously I grew up watching TV, and TV said that my skin needed to be porcelain, smooth, plastic, clear, clean, and under control. And so it was just something that I grew to expect, that my skin needed to be perfect. So imagine my surprise when I put up on puberty, and puberty was like, nope, like sorry, got wrong information, we are here for you. And so with puberty came bumps, and I hated them. I absolutely hated them, but I didn't know what to do. And I find that many times growing up, and I can only speak for myself, they don't really tell you a lot of what to do. Okay, so I just continued doing what I was doing, but that was not working. I was getting more breakouts, I was getting more bumps, and what I know now that I didn't know then was I was getting hyperpigmentation, and I hated it. And because I used to watch so much TV, and they mentioned the fact that I needed to have, you know, that porcelain skin, I was like, I need to do something about this. So I'm still going through, you know, puberty, going through school, hating my bumps, having bumps disappearing, and they come at the most awkward time in the most awkward places. But obviously, again, it's not all the time I'm getting it, so I'm able to balance out the love-hate relationship with my skin. Cue in St. Ives. I got introduced to St. Ives in my lovely teenage years, and I just want to say that it did what it was supposed to do, but it didn't do the right thing, you know? Because my skin would be smooth, but what I didn't realize is that I was having micro tears, and also I was destroying my skin barrier. So I would use the St. Ives, and obviously I would get, you know, my face would be smooth for a little while, and then the bumps would return. Cue me using witch hazel, because they said I needed a toner and it will help with the oiliness. Now my face was never as oily as it is now. So because of using the St. Ives and getting these little micro tears in my skin and destroying my skin barrier, my skin started to get way more oily, and I started to develop large pores in this general area here. And so because I'm becoming more oily, I was told that I needed a toner, and the best toner is witch hazel. I just want all the people who gave me this advice to repent. Like, I forgive you because I'm gonna make it into heaven, but like, I just need you to repent so you can be sure. Because I mean, I guess they couldn't do any better because they didn't know any better. But witch hazel did not work for me. Witch hazel, one, it dried my skin out, because as you know, it's an alcohol. It dried my skin out, and it seemed good because it got rid of the oil, but just for my face to reproduce even double times the oil to compensate for the fact that it was dry. And again, large pores started to develop right in this cheek area. I guess this was my St. Ives area. And so witch hazel didn't work, and then depending on the brand of witch hazel, it broke me out. So I had to abandon witch hazel, and I gave it up. And so after a while there in my teens, I just gave up on skincare because I didn't know what to do. The people around me didn't know what to do, and we were not coming to an understanding that could work for my skin. So I went back to using soap and water, and shamefully, I will say that there are times that I did not wash my face. I just like put water in it and moved on, because I'm like, what is the point? Nothing I'm doing is working, and I don't know what to do. Okay, I encountered Cetaphil. I don't remember who recommended it or how I came to know it, but I ended up getting into Cetaphil. And is somebody gonna tell me why Cetaphil costs like $70 something in Antigua? Because I almost said no, but I was like, I need something. So I went ahead and I bought the Cetaphil. Granted, I ended up finding it at Belmont Clinic for like $50 something. So you know, I stopped going back to, you know, these other places which will not be named. So yes, I got into Cetaphil, and Cetaphil was working. Again, Cetaphil is just a cleanser. So I was good with my cleanser, but I wasn't doing anything else. So I never understood the concept of adding moisture to my face if my face is oily. I didn't know of any other toners besides Witch Hazel, and Witch Hazel wasn't working for me. And so there were no serums, it was just me using my cleanser and going about my day. If I did put on a little foundation of makeup, then I just wash it off. Sometimes I did double cleanse, which is drama, because sometimes that would dry your skin out even more. But the Cetaphil was working, and my skin was looking fine. I even got one of those spin brush, the one from Vanity Planet. And I remember when Vanity Planet was selling those brushes for like $17 or something like that. It was like a 40% discount, and once you go through the link, anywho, I digress. So I had the Vanity Planet brush, and you know, the little spin brush, and you see me there, and I'm spinning, going on with my life, having a whole ball, enjoyed Cetaphil. But after a period of time, I don't know if my skin got accustomed to it, but it stopped working. It legit stopped working, and I'm just like, I'm giving up again. I'm giving up again. I can't deal with this. I just can't be bothered, because nothing seems to work or have longevity. So again, I went back to occasionally using it, or occasionally not washing my face and just maybe splashing some water or rinsing my face with water and moving on with my life. And then after that, I went to First Choice, and I'm always looking at skincare products, even though I wasn't buying any, because I don't know, I was hopeful that a sign would fall out of the sky and said, this is the one. That didn't really happen, but a girl can dream. So I was at First Choice, and I was just going through that cosmetic aisle. So I saw this brand called Fresh Food, and I was like, let me stop and read it. And they had one for oily skin, sensitive skin, dry skin, and normal skin. And you know, they were saying it was quite an organic brand, and yada yada and yada yay and yada day. I was like, I'll think about it, and I left. And then it just kept playing on my mind. So the next time I went back to First Choice, I bought it, but they didn't have any more of the cleansers for oily skin. So I picked up the cleanser for sensitive skin, because by this time my face, to me, was just really sensitive to things. So I started to use that, and that was actually going pretty good. And I only stopped using it because, well, it finished, one, and then I actually got into skincare. But I forgot to say this, guys. So I did go to a dermatologist, because by this time, I'm now in my 20s, I'm a working adult, I have money, I need to go to a dermatologist. So I go to a dermatologist here in Antigua, and I say, you know, well, this is my skin. You know, I've had breakout before from like using sunscreen that I can recall. I think I have cystic acne based on Google and my face, and I don't know what to do. And so she's asked me to like describe my bumps, and I'm like, okay, well, for the most part, when they come out and they are on the surface, they've pushed out, they tend to have like whiteheads, almost like they have pus, and then they would go away. And then you have others that would stay under the skin, and they would pain like a, listen, when my bumps are ready to hurt, when these bumps, like, I remember one time I was just like, I just did something and I touched, I was like, oh Lord, take me now. It hurts so bad. Listen, when these bumps would hurt, and then some of them, they would discreetly come up and they would disappear within like a day or two, but then they would leave a black mark. And so my constant struggle in life was, I don't want the bumps, I don't want the black marks, I don't know how to get rid of them. A girl is not going to bleach. I repeat, I am not bleaching for anybody. And so I was like, what do I do? And so she agrees that based on my description, because I don't think I had a major breakout at that point, she says, you may have cystic acne. She gives me some tablets. In that tablet combination is penicillin. I pause because, as far as I know, penicillin in the body is not penicillin back in the day. It's not something that we should be taking, yeast infections and all. And so I was a little skeptical, but she was basically saying I may have like bad bacteria in my gut or fungus or, Okay, not fungus. Fungus sounds really bad. She said I had something in my gut, and so the penicillin was supposed to kill it off, and that could be what is triggering my acne, my cystic acne. I'm like, okay, let me trust the good doctor. So I used it. The medication for, I don't know, I used it for maybe 2 weeks. I'll be honest, I'm really bad sometimes with taking medication, and from it start work, I'm over it. I don't finish doses, and I know that's really bad because they give you a specific prescription to finish the entire dosage because that's what's needed. And so I'm working on that, okay? But I'm not always the biggest fan of taking tablets. So I think I used it for about 2 weeks, and I did see a bit of results, but it still was not giving me what I wanted, so I think I just stopped. So I think that's my toxic trait. And I don't use medication well. I don't know why. Do you? Are you really good at finishing your medication? Tell me down below, because listen, I'm working on it, 2022. But yeah, so I basically stopped, and then I just went into that skin depression of just like, nothing is working for me. I don't know what to do, and I don't know, it was really frustrating that nothing was working. And so the last thing I used before my current regimen was the fresh food, and because it was a moisturizing lotion, it definitely kept my face soft, but that was the only thing I used. And so I was always a bit of, should I even bother? Like, maybe I am not supposed to have the skin that these models have. You know, my skin is never going to be smooth or without texture. These black marks just there. And I will admit that sometimes I think we hyper focus on our deficiencies or flaws, and it's not as bad, because I would talk about my pigmentation and people like, it's not that serious. They're like barely there. It's like, no, look at it, look at it. I mean, there's like nothing here, but like, no, it's there and it's driving me nuts. And they're like, calm down, it's not that obvious. But you know, because it's your face and you see it so constantly and it's just in your focus, you just see it as being such a massive issue. And so it was really rough growing up, dealing with my skin. And and the crazy thing about it is that I look back on photos of when I was younger, and I realized my skin was so nice. It was so smooth, it was supple, I didn't have excess oils, and it was fine. And I feel as though my skin was already perfect, minus the bumps of puberty and digestion, but we'll get to that later. And the more I try to do things to fix one particular thing, I over time started to damage my skin barrier, and in damaging my skin barrier, I just kept making my skin worse and worse. And it's just like, truthfully, as you get older and look back, you start to realize my skin was good. It really was not that bad. It was really not such a big issue that I made it out to be. And regretfully, I really wish I did not use half the products I did or tried them, but it's a part of life. It's already been done, and so we just have to move forward, right? Now, Q 2020, I'm on YouTube because we're all on YouTube. Because at this point, I'm ready to try something again, you know? I've come up a bit from my funk, and I encountered Dr. V, which is Vanita Ratten. So she's all about formulating products, so she knows what goes into the products in terms of ingredients, what they are, what they do, etc. And so she started her channel 2020 with the whole pandemic, and she's, you know, talking about like oily skin and different products and what they mean and why you should use them. And so I started to listen to her. Now, one of the reasons she got my ear over other YouTubers is the fact that she caters to brown and black skin. Now, she's Indian, of Indian descent, and so, you know, she's able to speak on that, and also she's done research and she's done her studies specifically for that. And if you ever encounter her, you should totally go and look her up. I'll have her link down below. Definitely go check her out. But yeah, she caters for black and brown skin, and I could really appreciate that, because as a black brown girl, it's nice to know that somebody is interested in me and my skin specifically, because not all skincare products or even makeup products are made evenly. And what Caucasian or white or that lighter skin can take, our skin cannot take, because our melanocytes have no chill. Our melanocytes, heads apart. Okay. Our melanocytes literally have no chill. They're like, oh, you got a little bump, ooh, you got a little bite, ooh, you got a little scratch, girl, I'm coming. And they come up there and they melanate, and then bam, black spots. And these darn black spots don't be moving for nobody, especially when they encounter the sun. Recipe of absolute disaster. And you hyperpigment, and the pigment stays there for years, and then if you're not exfoliating, dead skin, and you know, it's a whole thing, guys. It's a whole thing. But anyways, I digress. So I started to develop this bit of a trust for her, because she does seem knowledgeable. And even when I would Google the ingredients and, you know, Google the uses and effects and all these different things, it would match what she says. And I just really appreciated that somebody was looking out for me and my skin. Like, you don't understand how much that matters, how much she can speak to the fact that St. Ives and witch hazel, not for us. You know, like alcohols aren't really good for your skin because they dry your skin. Fragrances, which is actually what a lot of sunscreen like Banana Boats and the other brands they have a lot of fragrance in there, because I guess people just don't want to put on regular sunscreen. But just having zinc oxide or titanium dioxide is fine, because I actually use a sunscreen now and I don't break out. But when I would use those type of sunscreens, specifically ones with fragrance, I guess I got contact dermatitis. And so it was nice that someone was providing this information, and it was for free. It was in depth. It covered different skin types, it covered products, and it just gave you an idea of how to better use and to buy the products. And that is what I really appreciated about Dr. V, that she gave me these details. And so because of her, I actually started a new skincare journey. I started it in about, I want to say, October. So if you saw the last video of my weekend Saturday vlog, bread shop, you know, the whole debauchery of adventure, you'll see that I got a skincare product, which was CeraVe, and I got my azelaic acid. And so that was back in October 2021. And so I started my skincare journey. So it has officially been, I want to say, about 3 months that I've been on my skincare journey. And it's been going really great. Don't get me wrong, I had to learn what to use, how to use it, what two products you cannot combine, what two products you can combine. I had to learn a regimen, so I actually have a daytime and a nighttime regimen. And yes, it was overwhelming, and yes, it was a lot, but I will say that I have seen some changes in my skin. Again, based on the skin cycle and my age, it's not going to happen overnight. It can take 2 skin cycles, which can be, you know, the 3-4 month mark or so. And so I can say though that my skin tone has definitely evened out. I now have like one skin tone. I don't have like little black areas here and there. My hyperpigmentation, they have not disappeared. I want to think because I have even skin and my skin is brighter that they're more visible. So they have not fully gone. My skin is a little smoother. I still have a bit of texture, but so far so good. And I feel as though I've been repairing my skin barrier as well, which is quite important. Just before I show you the products I use, I just want to give a piece of advice for someone who encounters this video. You're 12, you're 13, you're later in your teens, or even in your 20s. First and foremost, you are not the problem, okay? You are not the problem. We all have skin issues. We all encounter these things. And so it's natural that it will happen, because puberty is a total bottom. It just comes in like a bulldozer. But also your diet matters. And I feel as though growing up, especially in my preteens and in my later teens, I don't know why it never occurred to me, honestly. And it's not for lack of studying nutrition in school, but it's just the 2 and 2 just never came together. I'm not a big fan of eating sweets, and I know they say you shouldn't eat a lot of sweets because, you know, sweets will lead to breakout, but I'm not a fan of sweets. I like savory and sour things. So imagine my surprise when I realized that one of the culprits to my unhealthy guts or gut bacteria, unhealthy gut bacteria or inflammation which comes out of my face, is dairy. It's honestly dairy, and I'm a lover of dairy. I love milk, especially full cream milk. I love cheese, and I mean, yogurt can be good depending on the type of yogurt it is. And so I love these things, and I would eat them frequently and in large quantities. And then obviously there is ice cream. Like, who doesn't like little ice cream? The one sweet that I can tolerate. But I'm not overly big chocolate fan. So while I would eat chocolate, it wouldn't be the biggest craving for me. And honestly, I wish someone would have just said cut back or stop doing this and see what happens. As that's one of my biggest advice. Cut back on the dairy, because dairy puts your gut in an inflamed state, and one of the places that it presents itself is on your skin, specifically your face. So cut back on the dairy. Definitely you do need to wash your face, because we do have bacteria living on the face. We do have the daily elements, and washing your face matters, because this is how you help to unclog your pores. I don't recommend anything with any alcohol or any fragrance. For me, contact dermatitis is a thing, and so I have to stay away from things that have fragrances inside, and I can't put them on my face because I will break out and I will swell up, and it is not a pretty sight. So yeah, those are just a few tips of mine of things you should stay away from. I will say definitely check out Dr. V's channel. She goes in depth, and like I said, because she caters to brown and black skin, it really makes you feel included. It makes you feel as though someone is out there looking out for your good. So I definitely recommend her. That being said, I'm now going to show you the products from her that I use in my skincare regimen, and I'm just going to show you all of them, and I'll let you know what is daytime and what is nighttime. So these are my skincare products, and so we're just going to go through them really quickly. So when I cleanse both day and night, I go in with this oil cleanser, and then I go in with my CeraVe. I go in with the Paula's Choice Pore-Reducing Toner with Niacinamide. This is how it looks. Right? Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty water-based, this toner, but it's also very moisturizing and hydrating to the skin. And I simply use a cotton pad, nothing special. So this is it. It's from The Ordinary. It's niacinamide, again 10%, and zinc 1%. The niacinamide helps to regulate the oil in my skin, how it is produced, the amount is produced, and it definitely helps with my skin barrier. So this is it. Okay. My moisturizer, which is from CeraVe. Yes, it does say PM moisturizer, but it's the only moisturizer that I could find that wouldn't be thick and that wouldn't have any fragrance in it or alcohols, and that I thought would work with my skin. So I'm finished with that. I go in with my sunscreen. I have definitely started to wear sunscreen. It's been quite an experience, but another video for that. So yeah, going with this sunscreen, these two. So this one is the Azelaic Acid Emulsion 10%. This is from Neutrogena, and it is a pump, right? And it's clear. So I would use this one. So let's say I use this on Monday night, then I would do the same nighttime routine, but instead of where I had that, I would use this from The Ordinary. And this is the Retinol 0.5% in Squalane. Exfoliant, it's a BHA, it's not an AHA. I am not yet ready for AHAs. I'm still doing my research and learning about it, but I am considering getting it, something with like lactic acid and mandelic acid in it, which is a little gentler because they're bigger molecules than glycolic acid, which is a small molecule, so it penetrates faster, easier to irritate and burn. So yeah, so this is an exfoliant. I would use this, but once I use it, I can't use it with these two because these two have exfoliating properties as well. The other product that I use is benzoyl peroxide, and I normally use that after my toner and before my niacinamide. Alright, so that is my skincare journey. These are some of the products I use. I hope it was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do have any questions, you can definitely ask me. You can hit me up right here down in the comments, or you can hit me up on my Instagram page. Please remember to go check out Dr. V again. She goes into way more detail, and she'll just help you build a regimen based on her advice and her expertise. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing how I use the products, then then let me know, and we'll do a whole skincare routine in action for you. That'd actually be really cool. I would look forward to it because like I'm extra, so you know I have my whole, like I have my headband, okay? I have my headband, my Velcro headband. Yes, I headband up here, back, and I go all in. So if you're interested in seeing that, you can definitely let me know. But I hope this video brought you some good knowledge and you enjoyed it. Remember to like, to subscribe, and to share. Comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.